Good morning. I was talking with the microphone off. How are you, girls? How are you doing?
Good morning, teacher. Great. What about you?
Good, very good. I could sleep very well last night, so I'm so happy for that. Thank you very much for joining again, Christina. I really appreciate that you are here. It's nice to see you again.
The pleasure is mine, teacher. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm going to start sharing my screen. See, can you please confirm if you can see my screen?
Yes, I can, teacher.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much. Well, welcome everybody to this reading session. Today we're going to be practicing a reading skill and we are going to be reading specifically about an email from a friend sharing some good news, I guess. Um, I don't think I know you, Natalia Cuervo. So very nice to meet you. My name is Sofia. I am 27 years old. And yeah, let's start with the class. Christina, can you please help me reading this class goal?
Go. By the end of these lessons, students will understand the main idea and details of an informal email, identify key vocabulary in context, develop reading strategies, skimming and scanning, and express personal responses to the text.
There you go. Thank you very much. So yeah, today we're going to be reading about an email. It's going to be very easy to understand, I think, because it is an email where the writer use like daily vocabulary, nothing that technical. So it's very easy to understand. Also, we will be learning new vocabulary words and we will be practicing skimming and scanning. Have you ever heard before about skimming and scanning?
No, teacher. Scanning is
Mm.
something like, for example, an action when you scan a paper or something
Mm-hmm.
related. But
Mm-hmm.
skimming, I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Natalia, veo que tienes el micrófono activado. No sé si estás hablando, pero no te escuchamos.
No, no, I wasn't talking. Good morning.
Oh, okay.
No, I was gonna say the same. I don't, to be honest, I don't know the both words.
Okay. Okay. Well, pretty much skimming and scanning, sorry, is what you said, Aura. Scanning is escanear, and skimming is like a word that describes fast reading, lectura rápida. Entonces, antes de leer un texto, es bueno que uno haga una skimming and scanning of the text so we will have an idea of what the text is going to be about without reading all of it immediately. I don't know if that makes sense. But it's like kind of start reading a book with like having an idea of what it's going to talk about it. So we can have like a better understanding about the text or the article. So that's pretty much skimming and scanning. Scanning, escanear, skimming, lectura rápida. That's it. So before we get into the topic and we get into the yeah, pretty much the text, we're going to do some warm-up questions. Um, so you guys can answer any of this one. Do you still write emails to friends? What type of emails do you usually send? What do people usually include in informal emails? You guys can choose any of these questions and then you can answer.
I think I don't write emails for my friends. And the next one, I think the emails that I used to type are very formal because
Mm.
if it were informal, I would probably use other maybe other application, not an email. And
Mm-hmm.
what do people usually include informal emails? To be honest, I don't know. I think when we are typing through an email, it has to be formal. So I don't really know what could be informal in an email.
Hmm. Yeah, I feel that nowadays because we have messages, text messages, like informal emails is not even a thing anymore. Because like if it's going to be informal, why don't you send a text, right? Or that's what I think.
Yeah, true.
Okay. When I was like reading about this and preparing this class, I don't know how old are you guys, but I am that old. Well, not that old, but I remember when early 2000s text messages and social media were not a thing. So email was a huge thing. So I remember I used to receive these stories. I don't know who sent those stories to my email, but it was like a story about a rose and then like other crazy stories about random stuff. And I used to love to reading those stories. And then you have to share those stories because if you don't share it, you will have like 7 years of bad luck. Did you guys ever receive those types of emails
I
or
think I
you guys
have read
didn't?
it, but just in post. But yeah, it's many time ago. I'm 22 now, and no, I I couldn't understand the vibe. But yes,
No.
I read maybe in a post. I would say that in a
Mhm.
post.
Okay. Okay. That's good. I mean, I'm 27. I don't know, maybe I was too old. I don't know what was it, but I used to love to receive those emails. What about you, Christina? Do you still write emails to your friends?
No, no, I don't, teacher. It's not common nowadays. It's weird. And as Natalia mentioned, it's something different right now. So we used app like WhatsApp and we send an informal messages. That's pretty
Mhm.
common right now. And
Hmm.
what type of emails do you use? Do you? Okay, sometimes I try to write emails to my teachers, to my professors, and I try to include a formal language because the person who receives your message um, deserve formal words or formal communication. So I think that that the vocabulary words that you include in your message, um, it's relevant. So you need formal language. And according with the last question, okay, it's important, for example, that you include the salutation, the headline, the introduction, the body of your letter, and it's important that you achieve engage um, the readers, because if you don't achieve that goal, the people decide to erase your message, and they are going to say it's not important, so it's a spam or it's something related. So I think that it's pretty important that you how to write, how to achieve your public. So that's important. And of course the language, in the case that you need, for example, to send a proposal, you send formal letter, and I don't know, different a memo, for example, when you work at as in a at company. I think that this is important. And yeah, teacher.
I think also that the texts that we type through the forms are kind of emails, but at some point they're informal words or. Yeah, but through the forums. When it's maybe through Skype, yeah, for me it's more formal.
Yeah, that's true. I feel that it depends on, of course, the context, the person who we are talking about. I feel sometimes even in college, even the teachers text you very informal. So, um, yeah, I feel it depends on who are you writing and like, of course, the topic that you are writing about, because if it is a very serious topic, then of course you will try to write more formal and more specific rather than informal, right? And the good thing is that, for example, in college now we have teams and we can communicate very easily with our teachers. Another thing is that nowadays, because there's so much marketing from a lot of different things, important emails get lost, right? Like, and that's why it's more accurate and more like personal to send text messages. Um, but I think it still is very important what Arda was saying, like understanding like the parts of like an email, how what things should be included in the email. But yeah, we're going to learn a little bit more about it. Um, we're going to do this vocabulary activity. I will give you guys maybe 5 minutes. I encourage you to not use translator or anything and just do it by context. Try to find the matchings answers by context or by kind of like answering first the ones that you know and then leaving the last ones that you don't know and kind of match it. Um, and then we will review the information um, of this matching activity, okay? You can send the answers in the chat. And yeah, I'll give you guys 5 minutes and then we will review.
Teacher, we have to write the answers on the chat.
Yes, please, if you can. Just one match with, I don't know, E, two match with B, blah, 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 in the chat. Okay, girls, one more minute and then we will review. Okay, so let's start reviewing. Okay, Ara, thank you very much for sending your answers. So let's see. Okay, so to oversee. To oversee means see to regularly check the progress of a project. I feel that this phrase is ideal to formal emails actually. When you're like in a project, it can be in college or it can be in your job that you need to figure it out how the project is going. So the number one is letter C. Number two, to be posed, the answer is to be sent to a place for a job. So pretty much this means that like they send you to like work in different places and you have to be posed in this city so you can start your work there or you're living there pretty much. The third is kind of means in some way of startup. I think this is a very familiar phrase, right? To kind of like I'm using it right now to in some way understand and explain an idea, right? A weird wine, this was very new for me. And weird wine means that something is happening fast, is exciting, and predictable. We will figure it out. We will use it or read it more in the context later on. So you will have an idea what this specifically means. Or real wine is something that is happening and changing really fast and it's very unpredictable. To figure, well, you know, this verb is like pretty much to think or to suppose. To be off to means to move or travel to a different place. It's like when airplanes take off, you also to be off to, pretty much. Days on end means that several days happen continuously and it's happening constantly. So the correct answer for number seven will be B, several days continuously. And for eight, every other means one out of every two. Um, so these were the correct answers. You will understand a little bit more where and when can you use these phrases. But I just wanted to clarify this vocabulary that you might find in the text that we're going to read now. So we are going to do a really fast skimming and scanning, sorry, about this text. So the way that you scan and skim, the way that I do it is that I read the first sentence of each paragraph. So I'll give you 2 minutes. I'm going to make this smaller. Okay, so I'll give you 2 minutes to read if you want, if you have like read fasting or fast reading, sorry, read the first paragraph and then read the first sentence of each paragraph. So you will have an idea of what this text is going to be about. So I'll give you guys 1 minute and then we will start reading actually. Okay, so after scanning and skimming, what do you think the email will be about?
Teacher, the email is about an interesting story about the one girl that she is working at New York, and she traveled to over overlook over glance something, and
Mhm.
she when she arrives to this big city, she thinks that she is inside a enormous television show. So
Mhm.
it's kind of similar.
Okay. Okay, that's good. What do you think, Natalia? What kind of experiences might the writer describe in the text?
I think she was typing something about being a writer, but also that she had to travel like suddenly, and the weather was being difficult, and I think she was getting used to the new things around the new place that she got.
Okay. Okay, so we know that she's going to be traveling to other cities, right? We read that, and then she might have some different experiences. So now we're going to read more about the text. I think it's very important to, before, kind of like a scan and a skim, to have an idea. It doesn't have to be the correct idea, but at least we have a small idea about what it might be talking in the text. Okay, so now I'm going to read the first paragraph, then Cristina is going to read the second one, then Natalia, the third one, and then Christina, the last one. Okay? Okay. Hi, I've been meaning to write for ages, and finally today I'm actually doing something about it. Not that I'm trying to make excuses for myself, it's been really hard to sit down and write, as I've been moving around so much since we last saw each other. I've unpacked my bags in four different cities. This job has turned out to be more a war wine than I expected, but it's all good. Christina?
Okay, teacher. I forget to mention that she was expressing something about the weather. And okay, I went from London to Prague to set up a new regional office there. You know, I'd always wanted to go, but maybe I was imagining Prague in spring when I used to talk about that. Winter was really hard with minus 15 degrees in the mornings and dark really early in the evening. But at least it was blue skies and white snow, and now no days on end of gray skies and rain, like at home. It's though being away from home over Christmas, though, and Skype on Christmas Day wasn't really the same as being with everyone. Everyone.
From there, I was on another 3 month mission to oversee the setup of the office in New York. Love, 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 New York. It's like being in a big TV show as everywhere looks just a little bit familiar. I did every tourist thing you can think of when I wasn't working, and must have spent most of my salary on eating out. It was really hard to leave for the next job, especially as I kind of someone, meet someone. More about Michael later. Shall I continue? Oh,
Yeah, you can continue.
so then I was posted to LA, which felt like whole other country compared with the East Coast. I could definitely that get used to that kind of outdoor beach lifestyle, but I didn't spend as much time getting to know California as I could have because I was flying back to see Michael every other weekend. He came to see me when he could, but his job means he's often working at weekends, so we couldn't make the flight every often. Those 3 months flew by and by in. Then I was off again, but Frankfurt, which is where I am now, and so is Michael. He got a month of work, and we're trying to work out how we can be in the same place at the same time for a while. We figure the first step in that direction is getting married, which is also why I wanted to write. I can get married without my oldest friend there. The wedding's going to be at home in London in September, and I hope you can come. Anyway, tell me all your news and promise not to leave it so long this time. Lots of love, Kat.
There you go. Thank you very much. Before we continue, girls, do you have any question about the text? Do you have any question about the vocabulary? Or is everything clear?
So far, so good, teacher, for me.
Okay. Okay, that's great. So it's very clear that this is a person that travels a lot around the world, and she was pretty much describing the different experiences that she had in different cities that she went. Um, and also she's talking a little bit more about her future plans, right? So now, based on all this information that we just read, we are going to answer some reading comprehension questions. just to confirm that we understood the topic or the text, sorry. So first, where she will get married.
Frankfurt.
Okay, Christina says Frankfurt. What about Natalia? What is your answer?
I don't remember. Maybe in New York.
Okay. Okay, we will just leave it there. And then we will figure it out. A city that wasn't what she expected.
Praga.
Praga. Yeah, because she was saying that it was too cold, right? The winter was really bad there. Okay. Which city was an expensive place?
New York.
Mm-hmm. Why? What was the thing that she spent most money in New York while she was in New York? ¿Cuál fue esa cosa en la que ella gastó más dinero en Nueva York?
Eating out at a restaurant, maybe.
Mhm. Yeah. It doesn't say specifically what was it, but when you read most of my time eating out, you can tell that it was in restaurants, right? So, yeah, New York food is very expensive, I guess. Okay, a place that she didn't really see much of it.
LA.
Mm-hmm. Why she couldn't see much of LA?
Maybe because she didn't spend a lot of time on that city.
Yeah, she pretty much didn't spend that much time in LA because she was flying back to see Michael every other weekend. So she keeps going to New York every weekend, every other weekend, cada dos fines de semana. So she couldn't see that much of LA because she was visiting her boyfriend. The most recent city she's lived in.
Frank-
London.
Frankfurt.
Sorry.
Frankfurt.
Uh-huh.
And she's
Yeah, it
going
was
to get married with his
in
boyfriend.
London. Exactly. And here's, they said it here. Let me see. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah. I can't get married without my oldest friend there. My wedding is going to be at home in London in September. So let's see. Okay, that's great. All correct. Now we're going to do the second one. Okay, so recently Kat has been making an effort to email people she knows, too busy to even think about writing emails or thinking about writing an email to her friend.
For me, it's the last one.
Okay, the last one. What do you think, Natalia? Do you agree?
I think the first one.
I think the first one. Okay, I have to say that this one is very confusing because for me at the beginning, all of them were possibly answers because she has been very busy traveling around the world and she's making an effort to email people that she knows. But the one that is more specific in this case is that she was actually writing an email to her friend. So the correct answer will be the most specific one, which is that right now or before she was thinking about writing an email to her friend. So very tricky. Prague was better than Cat imagined, just as Cat imagined, not as nice as Cat imagined.
For me, it's the last one. Not as nice as Cat Imagine.
Okay. Natalia, what do
Yeah,
you
I
think?
think so. Yeah, I
You
agree.
think that too? Why? Can someone explain why? Because the winter was too much. She thought that it was going to be like spring all the time, but it was really bad. Very cold. Okay, so Kat says Christmas was exciting, difficult, or as good as usual thanks to technology.
For me, is the first one. Exciting.
Okay, Natalia, what do you think? Do you agree?
Um, I'm between the first one and the second one.
Okay, let's see. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, here. It's tough being away from home over Christmas, though, and Skype on Christmas Day wasn't really the same as being with everyone. So based on this last sentence, which one is the correct answer?
It's difficult.
Yeah,
It's too hard.
Mm-hmm. It's difficult. In New York, she spends most of her money on.
on restaurant.
Mhm. How did Kat feel about LA? Nice for a holiday, but not to live. She will have enjoyed spending more time at the beach. She didn't really like the beach part of LA style.
The second one for me.
Yeah, yeah, I
Yeah,
agree.
because she barely spent time in LA, right? So she can't say she never mentioned good for holiday or she never mentioned the beach. But she didn't like the beach, so. Mhm. And this one is also tricky. Kat and Michael are thinking about how to spend more time together, working out where to hold the wedding. Where to hold means like en donde tener la boda. And planning to get engaged.
The first one, I think.
What do you think, Aurea?
For me, I'm not sure,
Hmm.
but I'm going to choose a working out where they hold the wedding. Not
Okay.
sure.
Okay, that's okay. Okay, so here in the last paragraph, they say he got month off of work and we're trying to work out how can we be in the same place at the same time for a while. We figured out the first step in that direction is getting married, which is also why I wanted to write you. I can't get married without my oldest friend there. The wedding is going to be in home. Okay, so they already decide where is going to be the wedding. So it's going to be in London in September. Okay, so probably the second one will not be planning to get engaged, where she says that they are already going to get married is because they are already engaged. So the only option that we will have will be the first one, thinking about how to spend more time together. Now let's see. There you go. All of them are correct. I think with reading, even though that this is an email and it can be easier, than like a normal text. There are some specific details that sometimes in an exam can make the text very difficult. For example, the tricky questions like, um, what was she doing with this email? Was she writing an email? Was she too busy? Blah, blah. In this case, we really need to take time and kind of read again the text to confirm the specific details because that's what most of the teachers will do, like make the um, questions very confusing to kind of like make the student to go back and read again, if that makes sense. Um, do you have any questions about the, oh my gosh, what is it here? About the text, vocabulary?
Teacher.
Yeah.
Worldwide in this case, I don't know, maybe it's something related with nature. Um,
No. Okay, so here it is. This job has turned out to be more of a worldwide than I expected. En esta frase, ¿tú qué entiendes? Este trabajo em, se ha vuelto más worldwide de lo que yo esperaba, pero ha sido todo bueno. Basándote como en la experiencia de que ella trabaja y está de un lugar a otro, ¿qué crees que signifique worldwide?
I remember that it was in the vocabulary, and I think it is like she has to travel suddenly. Or
see,
yeah,
it's something unexpected, but
Exacto. Ujú.
but I had the opportunity to listen to song that is called with this name, Worldwide.
Ah, really?
And um I don't know the name of this, but it's like similar to a tornado, or I don't know. I don't know in Spanish.
Let's see. Puede ser un tornado porque mire, todas
Mm-hmm.
las imágenes que muestran, pero yo creo que obviamente también depende del contexto, ¿no? Si te están hablando como una tormenta o algo, a whirlwind, en ese sentido de que es como ese túnel, como esa figura de túnel en el aire, tiene más sentido, pero de pronto en este contexto donde ella está diciendo, Dios mío, me tengo que mudar de un lugar a otro lugar y todo pasa tan rápido, es como algo inesperado que pasa muy rápido. Entonces, como que tratar de encontrar la similitud entre lo literal y lo no tan literal,
Mm-hmm. Okay, teacher. Thank you.
como una metáfora, por decirlo así.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, teacher. I get it.
Mhm. We had a wrap up activity, but because of time, we won't be able to do it. But it was pretty much writing a short email asking about how was my recent vacation. Like you were going to write an email asking me. But unfortunately, we won't have time to do it. I just sent the attendance link in the chat. And before we close the class, do you have any other question? Any comment?
No, teacher, for me, everything is clear. Thank you for your time, for your class. It was pretty interesting. And see you soon, teacher. Bye bye.
Of
yeah, many
course.
thanks, teacher, for your time.
Yeah, of course. It was my pleasure. Well, I hope you guys have a great day today, and I hope to see you soon. Thank you for joining to this class.
Yeah, take care, teacher.
Thank you. Bye.